Hello, my wonderful darlings. It's me again. I was bursting with inspiration after my work in an academy last night, and it's an amazing academy that really brings out the gifts and the strengths in young people, particularly with autism and ADHD, age 16 onwards, a residential academy. And they really believe in these kids. And as we all know, as parents of neurodiverse children, or if we're neurodiverse ourselves, there is absolutely no provision post 16. It's like you just drop off the planet, you know. Nobody invests, nobody believes. That's how it feels. And it's absolutely shocking. And so the reason I absolutely love working in academies like that, because those kids deserve to be believed in. But if you're parents of neurotypical children, you would be absolutely horrified at the fight parents have to go through, tribunals to fight for people to invest funding in their child to grow and go on to engage in employment, you know, to belong to society. Only 16% of autistic people are employed, and yet it's a proven fact that higher functioning autistic people have a higher IQ than average. So it's such a waste of that pool of talent, reliability, thinking outside the box. You know, we all deserve a seat at the table. You know, we are not a community if we exclude certain people or make them into their own populations. I keep going on rants instead of telling you therapy. Sorry about this. Sharing therapy, I mean. Anyway, so I was working there last night and they said to me, have you got any yoga poses, Juliana, for us? Because we've got autism and ADHD. And I said, well, I have actually, because I trained with the absolutely amazing Jyoti Manuel, who I've mentioned before from Special Yoga. But I've also gone on to do other courses as well about this to add to my knowledge. So I'm going to share with you today 4 really easy things that you can do if you have autism or ADHD. Sorry about the squeaking noises, it's my boots. Oh yeah, you're all going to get cross with me again, look. I'm supposed to be doing this barefoot on a mat, and I'm doing it in 60s high-heeled boots on my massage bed. The reason for that, by the way, is A, because I've got to be somewhere this afternoon, but also, you know, I just think every day is a gift. And every day I'm surrounded by so many mental health issues and people feeling broken. And even if I feel like that myself, I will get up, dress up and show up. And so I think if I want to do yoga in high-heeled 60s boots, why not? You know, I'll probably get told off and have loads of complaints, but I don't care, because to me, what I'm sharing with you is something you can do anywhere. You know, it's not this, I don't want it to be inaccessible. I want you to feel you can, if you want to sit there and do it in your slippers, which my lot did last night at the academy, that's absolutely fine. If you want to do it in your shoes, fine. Yes, ideally you do it barefoot, and I usually do. But today I feel like I did on Monday, sometimes you just feel like sticking 2 fingers up at life and saying, do you know what? Even though all this crap, is going on, just glow. You know, I love this rapper called Lil Peep, who's sadly passed. And I love him, and he always used to say, do you want to glow? And I keep that in my head every day. And it is about glowing. So I'm going to get on with it now, because I'm waffling on a bit. I just feel like you're all with me, you know, and we're having a lovely conversation. It's just lovely. I adore talking to you all, and you will be relieved to hear this is my last video this week. So here we go. We're going to combine a little bit of breathing and a little bit of yoga, and this is what I did with my young adults last night with autism and ADHD. So the first one is you just cross-legged and you just put your hands flat on the surface beneath you. So for me, it's my massage table with a big fluffy blanket because I love sensory things. I really love it. In my chalet, I've got loads of lovely squishy furry bean bags and rugs, furry rugs you can lie on. It's the whole experience. But you could do it wherever you want. You could do it on the floor. You could do it on a yoga mat. I mean, really, I shouldn't be doing it on a height. Sorry about that, health and safety. But do you know what? I'm feeling a bit rebellious today, and I'm definitely not in the mood to colour inside the lines. I'm doing it my way, but you can do it your way. This is what I'm saying to you. You can have fun with it. So you have your hands flat on the surface beneath you and your back as straight as you can, but not if it hurts. So if you've got cerebral palsy, or you're in a wheelchair, or you have reduced mobility, you know, you might not be able to straighten your back. So just do it as far as you can, because with yoga, you have to remember to breathe and it should never hurt. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. And when we breathe in, we're going to roll our shoulders back. And when we breathe out, we're going to roll our shoulders down. And you can even go with it and make a sound. I might do that because I've been out this morning, you know, and there was some misogs and there's no need for it. So I'm going to do a at them. I'm going to get rid of all that misogness that I might have picked up on my little travels today into my local town. So here we go. So I'm going to breathe in, roll my shoulders back. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Anybody can do it. And it's not just for people who are autistic or have ADHD or are neurodiverse. Everybody can do it. I don't believe in all these separate populations. We are a global community and everything I share is for everybody. But these little yoga and breathing exercises particularly help if you are autistic or have ADHD, because we're working a lot on the gut and getting up those all-important happy hormones and coping chemicals. The serotonin for happiness, confidence and self-esteem, 90% of it is in our gut, and the dopamine for focus, feeling on top of the world. It's like that being in love feeling. You're really driven and motivated, and it really helps cut through all the misogdom that is going on. So it's really fantastic. The next one I want to show you is the twister. And even if you need to assist someone to do this, you can assist them. It's just sitting down. If somebody's in a wheelchair, they can still do this. And you're twisting. You're just twisting. Try and keep your back straight. But as I say, if you don't have much mobility, please don't worry because it shouldn't hurt. And the important thing is you keep breathing. So this is the twister. Just breathe with it. And what you're actually doing is you are really massaging your gut because you're turning it and twisting it. So it's like a massage as well as yoga. So as the gut is also the seat of meltdown, fear, anxiety, all those things we can't digest, all those things we shove down there for a later time, and generally we never get around to dealing with it. And we're bound to all have a little bit of that at least, particularly as we've come through these weird times, you know. So and as adults, you know, we push a lot down to be present for our children and in our work. And for children, they're pushing a lot down, particularly our neurodiverse children. They're pushing a lot down to survive a mainstream school day, if they're lucky. So the gut is a really important place to work on because that is where that overwhelm comes from and that meltdown. So it's really good to exercise it in this gentle way that anybody could do. Even if you were in hospital right now, you could do it. I mean, you might look like a slight weirdo doing this, but no one's going to notice, especially if the curtains are drawn around you. You know, it's absolutely fine. It's discreet. It's fine. The other one is butterfly hands. So you just, I'll do it in a shorter version so you can see me, but you're doing it with your arms up and just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And this is opening up the heart where we're present with emotion. It's opening the diaphragm. It's getting that gut-brain axis working because that first brain links to the second brain through that vagus nerve in particular, which responds very much to whether we're in fight or flight or whether we're toddling along quite peacefully and nicely. So those messages will go from the gut up to the brain and let the brain know whether to go into fight or flight or not, or to just carry on, just going round in a gentle way. So that is a really good connective one for that gut-brain axis, and to keep that vagus nerve pushing up that dopamine, because the dopamine, the one about motivation, focus, feeling on top of the world, that travels up from the gut through the vagus nerve. So that's why that one is really important. And then the final one is it's the bridge in yoga normally, but we gave it the name the rocking chair yesterday, because when I work with young adults and kids, I like them to name the poses. I say to them, let's do them, and how does it feel? And that's really empowering to them to feel that they can name the poses, own them, you know, have fun with them. So it may not be very conventional, but then again, I'm doing this in high-heeled boots for the second time in a week. So I think I'm a bit beyond conventional, really. So what you do is you just hug yourself underneath your knees, and you just rock backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Or you can just literally stay like that. If you have trouble balancing, which a lot of people do, including me at times, and that's not because I've had a drink, by the way, it's just you get the odd day where you're a bit tired, don't you, you know, and you just lean back and you're right on that tailbone and you just hold it. And that pressure of your thighs against your tummy is really pushing up the blood and oxygen from your gut all the way up the spinal cord to your brain. It's also really, really relaxing and grounding, which is so important in these times where stress levels are high and our neurodiverse children are born with naturally higher levels of that awful enemy of the body, cortisol, the main stress hormone anyway. So this really, really is a lovely, nurturing, safe one. You know, in the academy where, one of the academies where I work, there's no touch allowed whatsoever. And for some of these kids, you know, they've just got back from half term where they've been hugged by their families and they are missing that touch. And I'm not allowed to hug them, and I so desperately want to, and the staff can't hug them. So, you know, this is a nice way to administer that self-touch as well as yoga. And if you're in your dressing gown and your slippers, like some of them were yesterday, that is fine. I do not make them all take off their slippers and get on uncomfortable yoga mats, because they're not going to like it. So, you know, I just think this works just as well wherever you are comfortable. And I'm sorry if that upsets people, but I do. And I see the benefits and the deep effects of that every single day in my work. And because I make it so comfortable and inviting and accessible, they engage. Even the ones who are really nervous and start on the edge of the room by an open door will come into the middle of the room and start talking to me and coming up with poses and naming them. And I love that. And it might be a bit off the wall, but we are still doing yoga. So, you know, I think it's good to be relaxed about it. And chilled about it. So this is a lovely one. And of course, you're pushing all that serotonin and dopamine up through the gut as well, and massaging the gut by doing this, particularly if you want to do a little bit of rock and roll with it, you know, rock and roll or a rocking chair with it. You're massaging gently on the gut, which is where, as I said before, we're storing so much. It's our second brain. It's our enteric brain. So this is not fluff and nonsense. This is neuroscience that I'm sharing with you. And if you want to know a little bit more about how the gut works and how it is actually our second brain, the enteric brain, Professor Michael Gershon is the leading neuroscientific professor in this. And he's written a book called The Second Brain. Funnily enough, original title, well worth a look at. And it's quite an accessible read as well. So, you know, if you wanted to know more about the science behind it. So all of this will help you breathe deeper. It will help you feel more grounded. It will help you gently release all these things you're storing, get the gut-brain axis flowing, and get all those beautiful happy hormones and coping chemicals flowing up your body just with those 4 simple poses. So I'm going to actually post this on my Facebook group. Boo wants to come up. She wants to say hello to you. Bear with me a minute. As you know, this is all a bit natural, to say the least. Come on, Boo. Come and see everybody then. Look, here she is. This is Boo. Little Bubby Boo. And she's beautiful. And she comes with me everywhere. She's my soul puppy. Aren't you, darling little Bubby Boo? Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Yes, so where was I? So you could do this anywhere. And just those simple 4 poses will really, really help you. And yesterday we actually put the poses into an umbrella, and the learners were doing lucky dips from the umbrella to choose which pose they'd like to do. So put it into games, have fun with it. And yeah, again, okay, it's not very conventional, but honestly, the more fun you have with these therapies, the more the kids engage with you, the more you're meeting them where they are at. And the benefits are enormous. And they are having fun with it. They're relaxed with it. So immediately, their serotonin levels have gone up. So on that note, I shall leave you. You've got peace now until Monday. You're very, very lucky. Thank you for bearing with me. And if you think that my ideas, the way I work, will help anybody else you know, any families, teachers, therapists, you're welcome to use what I share, you know, and share my channel, because, you know, I really want to get to as many people as possible. So, you know, share my channel. If you like it yourself, subscribe. I'd love it. I'll send you a great big massive kiss for that. Obviously, a cyber one, because we have to be careful. And it will make my day. It will make my day, because I know that I'm getting to more people that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to reach. So enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. Keep positive. Glam it up. You know, my Magic Rosa, my nonna, my Italian nonna, who I was really close to, she gave me a wonderful piece of advice. And, you know, even when I was giving birth, I would top up my mascara and things. I literally did, because I didn't want my baby to be born thinking that they had a really hideous mum. I know that sounds weird, but it's because my nonna, I'm waffling on, but my Italian nonna, she said to me, I got one piece of advice for life. And I said, what's that, nonna? And she said, every day, Juliana, you dress up as if it's your first date. In English, that translates as, every day, Juliana, dress up as if it's your first date. And you know what? I always have. I actually always do. Even if I'm doing the gardening or I'm just having a chill out day, I will always make the best of every day and the best of myself. And it just, you know, I've got high-heeled silver dancing shoes, which my beautiful, lovely dear friend, best friend Lauren gave to me. Little silver T-bar 60s shoes, and they're my dancing shoes, and I very often dance on my garden table. I know this is completely irrelevant. Oh, by the way, dancing massages all the gut as well, especially if you dance like I do. You know, I probably look like an electrocuted chicken, but I'm having fun. I love it. And I like to dance nearly every day, if I can. But if I can't, I've always got my little silver shoes on the stairs waiting, so that I can look at those shoes and remember my nonna. And if I haven't danced for a few days, I will. Because I think life is so short and life is so precious. And even after I was in A&E this week, I put those silver shoes on and I danced. And it wasn't for very long, but I did it. I did it in my dressing gown and my pyjama bottoms and high-heeled silver shoes. Every day is your first date. Every day is a gift. So on that note, I'm definitely going now. You must all think I'm mental. You're probably right, but I like it. I love my little crazy bubble. And if you want to share it with me, or you know anybody else who would like to share my little bubble with me, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. I shall see you soon, my darlings. Enjoy the rest of your week.